Ready? 5 seconds. Start. When the Speakers' Conference was held in 1968 in the present Assembly building, I had felt then that it was a small building, but you had carried on with it for these 12 years. We do have to observe economy, but an assembly building is an essential expenditure. Therefore, I am glad that you have thought of constructing a new building. It is like a temple. It is a temple for democracy, temple for the people of whichever faith or political color. It is where all shades of opinion meet and decide as to what should be the fate of the people. Democracy has different colors. We do know some of them, but we are following the parliamentary type of democracy which is growing strong in the Commonwealth countries. Having been a part of the Commonwealth, naturally we chose the parliamentary type. But as a member of the Constituent Assembly, I knew how our experts tried to put into our constitution different shades of opinion, presidential type and parliamentary type. Even in the parliamentary type, there are different systems. From the very beginning, since independence, I have had a doubt in my mind whether this system does not need a little change. I have a suspicion that a minority of the people have a chance to roll over the majority of the people. In a multi-party system, in a constituency where 20 to 30 people contest, nowadays a person getting about 10% votes also gets elected and he becomes the representative of 100% of the people. If people are elected like that with a small minority of votes and a party getting a narrow majority of one or two votes elects a leader who himself represents a minority, that leader becomes the chief minister or the prime minister. But in Australia, when I went there in 1968, I studied their practice. They have tried to circumvent this lacuna by making voting compulsory. Every voter must vote. If he does not, he has to produce a medical certificate that he is seriously ill, or else he is taken to task, a fine or something. I can understand this happening in Australia with a small population of 1.2 or 1.3 crore because the population does not grow there. It is a huge country with a small population only. Sir, at the secondary stage, students are called upon to study along with the mother tongue, a language which will be Hindi in non-Hindi speaking states, and it should be one of the other languages in the Hindi speaking states, preferably a South Indian language, and also English, which is the third language. Tamil Nadu has come for an adverse comment in this matter. I would like to know whether any other state is honestly implementing this policy of three language system. You find that education is mostly being imparted in the mother tongue and some place is given to English. So in actual practice, it is being taught very indifferently. If you look into the matter, you will find that English is not being taught with proper standards. So, The three language formula is a thing which everybody talks about and which nobody agrees to implement. For instance, there were questions earlier also as to what the Uttar Pradesh is doing, whether they are teaching any other Indian language, preferably South Indian language. The reply came that they are not doing anything of the sort. It is true that Tamil Nadu declared that it would only follow the two language formula. The new chief minister also said that while that is so, other states are not saying anything on this matter and they are just keeping quiet. This is how it is actually being implemented in practice. Actually, what is being done is that the mother tongue is given full recognition and then comes English. So, in actual practice, de facto mother tongue is the first language that is being taught, and then English is the second language, not Hindi or any other Indian language is the second language, though you talk much about it. This is the thing which has to be taken into account. But if you are going to follow the three language formula, please see whether it is being carried out anywhere by any state and then try to evolve a realistic policy. I do not find any fault with UP or Bihar government because they do not teach one of the South Indian language to their children. Why should they burden their boys and girls with a South Indian language with which they very rarely come into contact? There is no motivation. You may say there is motivation in non-Hindi speaking states to learn Hindi as Hindi has been adopted as our national language and link language, etc. But there is resistance to Hindi while framing the policy regarding that.